done before. It's amazing. They are on the way, and God bless them. These are brave people. We want to God bless those four unbelievable astronauts. As we speak this evening, it's been just 1 month since the United States military began Operation Epic Fury, targeting the world's #1 state sponsor of terror, Iran. In these past 4 weeks, our armed forces have delivered swift, decisive, overwhelming victories on the battlefield. Victories like few people have ever seen before. Tonight, Iran's Navy is gone. Their Air Force is in ruins. Their leaders, most of them terrorist regime they led, are now dead. Their command and control of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is being decimated as we speak. Their ability to launch missiles and drones is dramatically curtailed, and their weapons, factories, and rocket launchers are being blown to pieces. Very few of them left. Never in the history of warfare has an enemy suffered such clear and devastating large-scale losses in a matter of weeks. Our enemies are losing, in America, as it has been for 5 years under my presidency, is winning, and now winning bigger than ever before. Before discussing this current situation, I also want to thank our troops for the masterful job they did in taking the country of Venezuela in a matter of minutes. That hit was quick, lethal, violent, and respected by everyone all over the world. After rebuilding our military during my first term, we have by far the strongest military anywhere in the world. And now we're working along with Venezuela and are, in a true sense, joint venture partners. We're getting along incredibly well in the production and sale of massive amounts of oil and gas, the second largest reserves on Earth after the United States of America. We're now totally independent of the Middle East, and yet we are there to help. We don't have to be there. We don't need their oil. We don't need anything they have, but we're there to help our allies. Tonight, I want to provide an update on the tremendous progress our warriors have made in Iran and discuss why Operation Epic Fury is necessary for the safety of America and the security of the free world. From the very first day I announced my campaign for president in 2015, I have vowed that I would never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. This fanatical regime has been chanting death to America, death to Israel for 47 years. Their proxies were behind the murder of 241 Americans in the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut, the slaughter of hundreds of our service members with roadside bombs. They were involved in the attack on the USS Cole, and they carried out the countless other heinous acts, including the just horrible, bloody atrocities of October 7th in Israel, something that most people have never seen anything like it. This murderous regime also recently killed 45,000 of their own people who were protesting in Iran. 45,000 dead. For these terrorists to have nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat. The most violent and thuggish regime on earth would be free to carry out their campaigns of terror, coercion, conquest, and mass murder from behind a nuclear shield. I will never let that happen, and neither should any of our past presidents. This situation has been going on for 47 years and should have been handled long before I arrived in office. I did many things during my 2 terms in office to stop the quest for nuclear weapons by Iran first. And perhaps most importantly, I killed General Qasem Soleimani in my first term. He was an evil genius, brilliant person, a horrible human being, however, the father of the roadside bomb. And he lived just horrible what he did. Iran would have been perhaps in far better, stronger position. Had he lived, we would have had probably a different conversation tonight. But you know what? We'd still be winning and winning big. And then, very importantly, I terminated Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal, a disaster. Obama gave them $1.7 billion in cash, green cash, took it out of banks from Virginia, D.C., and Maryland, all the cash they had, flew it by airplanes in an attempt to buy their respect and loyalty, but it didn't work. They laughed at our president and went on with their mission to have a nuclear bomb. His Iran deal would have led to a colossal arsenal of massive nuclear weapons for Iran, and they would have had them years ago, and they would have used them. It would have been a different world. There would have been no Middle East and no Israel right now, in my opinion, the opinion of a lot of great experts, had I not terminated that terrible deal. And I was so honored to do it. I was so proud to do it. It was so bad right from the beginning. Essentially, I did what no other president was willing to do. They made mistakes, and I am correcting them. My first preference was always the path of diplomacy, yet the regime continued their relentless quest for nuclear weapons and rejected every attempt at an agreement. For this reason, in June, I ordered a strike on Iran's key nuclear facilities, an Operation Midnight Hammer. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Those beautiful B-2 bombers performed magnificently. We totally obliterated those nuclear sites. The regime then sought to rebuild their nuclear program at a totally different location, making clear they had no intention of abandoning their pursuit of nuclear weapons. They were also rapidly building a vast stockpile of conventional ballistic missiles and would soon have had missiles that could reach the American homeland, Europe, and virtually any other place on Earth. Iran's strategy was so obvious. They wanted to produce as many missiles as possible, and they did, with the longest range possible. And they had some weapons that nobody believed they had. We just learned that out. We took them out. We took them all out so that no one would really dare stop them. And their race for a nuclear bomb, a nuclear weapon like nobody's ever seen before. They were right at the doorstep. For years, everyone has said that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. But in the end, those are just words if you're not willing to take action when the time comes. As I stated in my announcement of Operation Epic Fury, our objectives are very simple and clear. We are systematically dismantling the regime's ability to threaten America or project power outside of their borders. That means eliminating Iran's Navy, which is now absolutely destroyed, hurting their Air Force and their missile program at levels never seen before, and annihilating their defense industrial base. We've done all of it. Their Navy is gone, their Air Force is gone, their missiles are just about used up or beaten. Taken together, these actions will cripple Iran military, crush their ability to support terrorist proxies, and deny them the ability to build a nuclear bomb. Our armed forces have been extraordinary. There's never been anything like it militarily. Everyone is talking about it, and tonight I'm pleased to say that these core strategic objectives are nearing completion. As we celebrate this progress, we think especially of the 13 American warriors who have laid down their lives in this fight to prevent our children from ever having to face a nuclear Iran. Twice this past month, I have traveled to Dover Air Force Base, and it's been something. I wanted to be with those heroes as they return to American soil, and I was with them and their families, their parents, their wives, their husbands. We salute them, and now we must honor them by completing the mission for which they gave their lives. And every single one of the people, their loved ones said, "Please, sir, please finish the job," every one of them. And we are going to finish the job, and we're going to finish it very fast. We're getting very close. I want to thank our allies in the Middle East, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain. They've been great, and we will not let them get hurt or fail in any way, shape, or form. Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home. This short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers in neighboring countries that have nothing to do with the conflict. This is yet more proof that Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them, and they will use them quickly. It would lead to decades of extortion, economic pain, and instability worse than we can ever imagine. The United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this threat. You all know that. We built the strongest economy in history. We're going through it right now, the strongest in history. In 1 year, we've taken a dead and crippled country. I hate to say that, but we were a dead and crippled country after the last administration and made it the hottest country anywhere in the world by far, with no inflation, record-setting investments coming into the United States, over $18 trillion, and the highest stock market ever, with 53 all-time record highs in just 1 year. It all positioned us to get rid of a cancer that has long simmered. It's known as the nuclear Iran, and they didn't know what was coming. They've never imagined it. Remember, because of our drill baby drill program, America has plenty of gas. We have so much gas. Under my leadership, we're #1 producer of oil and gas on the planet, without even discussing the millions of barrels that we're getting from Venezuela. Because of the Trump administration's policies, we produce more oil and gas than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Think of that, Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. And that number will soon be substantially higher than that. There's no country like us anywhere in the world, and we're in great shape for the future. The United States imports almost no oil through the Hormuz Strait and won't be taking any in the future. We don't need it. We haven't needed it, and we don't need it. We've beaten and completely decimated Iran. They are decimated, both militarily and economically and every other way. And the countries of the world that do receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. They must cherish it. They must grab it and cherish it. They can do it easily. We will be helpful, but they should take the lead in protecting the oil that they so desperately depend on. So to those countries that can't get fuel, many of which refuse to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, we had to do it ourselves. I have a suggestion. #1, buy oil from the United States of America. We have plenty. We have so much. And #2, build up some delayed courage. Should have done it before. Should have done it with us, as we asked. Go to the Strait and just take it, protect it, use it for yourselves. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done, so it should be easy. And in any event, when this conflict is over, the Strait will open up naturally. It'll just open up naturally. They're going to want to be able to sell oil because that's all they have to try and rebuild. It will resume the flowing, and the gas prices will rapidly come back down. Stock prices will rapidly go back up. They haven't come down very much, frankly. They came down a little bit, but they've had some very good days over the last couple of days. We've done actually much better than I thought, but we had to take that little journey to Iran to get rid of this horrible threat. With our historic tax cuts, where people are just now talking about receiving larger refunds than they ever thought possible, they are getting so much more money than they thought. That's from the great, big, beautiful bill. Our economy is strong and improving by the day, and it will soon be roaring back like never before. It will top the levels that it was a month ago. I've made clear from the beginning of Operation Epic Fury that we will continue until our objectives are fully achieved. Thanks to the progress we've made, I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly. We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong. In the meantime, discussions are ongoing. Regime change was not our goal. We never said regime change, but regime change has occurred because of all of their original leaders' death. They're all dead. The new group is less radical and much more reasonable. Yet, if during this period of time no deal is made, we have our eyes on key targets. If there is no deal, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard and probably simultaneously. We have not hit their oil, even though that's the easiest target of all, because it would not give them even a small chance of survival or rebuilding. But we could hit it and it would be gone, and there's not a thing they could do about it. They have no anti-aircraft equipment. Their radar is 100% annihilated. We are unstoppable as a military force. The nuclear sites that we obliterated with the B-2 bombers have been hit so hard that it would take months to get near the nuclear dust, and we have it under intense satellite surveillance and control. If we see them make a move, even a move for it, we'll hit them with missiles very hard again. We have all the cards, they have none. It's very important that we keep this conflict in perspective. American involvement in World War I lasted 1 year, 7 months, and 5 days. World War II lasted for 3 years, 8 months, and 25 days. The Korean War lasted for 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days. The Vietnam War lasted for 19 years, 5 months, and 29 days. Iraq went on for 8 years, 8 months, and 28 days. We are in this military operation, so powerful, so brilliant, against one of the most powerful countries for 32 days. And the country has been eviscerated and essentially is really no longer a threat. They were the bully of the Middle East, but they're the bully no longer. This is a true investment in your children and your grandchildren's future. The whole world is watching, and they can't leave the power, strength, and brilliance. They just can't believe what they're seeing. They leave it to your imagination, but they can't believe what they're seeing. The brilliance of the United States military. Tonight, every American can look forward to a day when we are finally free from the wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail. Because of the actions we have taken, we are on the cusp of ending Iran's sinister threat to America and the world. And I'll tell you, the world is watching. And when we do, when it's all over, the United States will be safer, stronger, more prosperous, and greater than it has ever been before. May God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much, and good night.
You can murder revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution.
King Kong ain't got on me.
Your $5 ass down before I make change.
Hello, friends. Well, we heard it. You heard it. That was our Iran update from the President Donald Trump. We are still there. You are, Rose. There you are. Let me put you on stage. There we go. I like this one better.
Hi, Hartzell.
There we go. Rose, how are you, my friend?
I am doing okay, and thank you for having me. Hello to everyone who's watching us. How are you?
We are doing well. What we're doing after hearing what we just heard, and again, let me give you the proper intro you deserve. We got Rose Penelope Yee running for Congress, soon to be my future colleague. Better be that way. Rose running in California 2. Am I right?
Yeah, California District 2 and Hartzell. I would love to serve in Congress with you. I mean, think of all that we can do together there, right?
Well, we're going to make sure that we do a platform that is very much pro-peace and anti-war. Did you get a chance to watch all of the speech? I know we're going through some technical stuff. Did you get a chance to watch what we just saw?
I got to watch most of it.
Your thoughts. I got some stuff written down, but just some of your initial thoughts. I'm nervous. That was well, you go first.
Well, so really, it was probably one of the shortest speeches that Trump ever gave, right? And I see there's a comment on the chat about that as well. And there, you know, there was nothing about that I heard that would give us a clue on whether the big question of the hour of the day is, are there troops going to be deployed? Are there going to be troops on the ground? And just really a short comment, and this is, I guess, what a lot of people are saying. It's like we are talking about the war as if we were in grade school. We're like, everything is so simple that, in that it's all about like the bad guys and the good guys. And I'm not sure that Trump really has the facts correctly. So with that, uh, let me bring it back to you. And what are your first thoughts?
Yeah, so I wrote some things down because that man, that man, that man. But I did, obviously we had the greatest hits, right? We got Soleimani, we got Obama is the worst, we got Drill Baby Drill. But what is really concerning me in this, Operation Epic Fury, aka Operation Epic Epstein, um, he mentioned that nuclear shield, right? He was mentioning World War I, World War II, Korea. See, that I don't see him doing that as examples of star-spangled awesomeness. What I'm hearing is someone who is trying to prep us for what could be a longer war with actual boots on the ground. And he's kept saying nearing completion, almost. And this part I thought was extremely disgusting when he mentioned specifically completing the mission. The very next thing he talked about were the 13 dead service members. And I just felt that so especially disgusting. And the fact that this is a war we shouldn't be in. He's talking about completing something that is killing innocents, including blowing up school buildings and school children. And it just reiterated the fact that we are doing this for nothing. And I feel, as nervous as I am, that sentence turned it around for me. And now I'm furious. Like now I'm angry, and I'm curious what you think kind of in that perspective.
It's all like really a big mess is what it is, Hartzell. And and the thing that really concerns me is that we talk about life as if it were disposable, as if lives that are lost don't matter. And as I posted in my TikTok, when, I mean, the schoolgirls in Minab, right? And all the other people who have perished from the attacks on civilian infrastructure in Iran. So it's inconceivable to me that we have a president who talks about the loss of life as if it was nothing, like as if it's just a like a side, what you call that, like like
It's one of
there's no
it's just an unintended
significant.
consequence, right? It's just
Yes,
one of those,
and
just one of those things, right?
you're right.
It's awful.
Yeah, it is. And so we need to look at what he's doing now, and what was probably the intent for launching this. It's a war of choice because the United States was not threatened by Iran. All those things that he said about justifying the war in Iran are not at all substantiated. There was no threat to our national security. And so, what was it really? You spoke about Epic Fury, but Epic Epstein. So, was it a destruction from the Epstein files? Was it? This is something that Netanyahu has also been wanting for a long time, right? So, what was the actual motivation for it? And then, I don't know if you've heard, if this is again with me with my finance background, about people close to Hegseth or even Hegseth's brokers, financial brokers, if you've heard about it, who made trades right before the start of the war. So people are making money off it while a lot of civilians are sadly losing their lives. And so, what is Trump trying to do with his speech? Like you said, he's probably trying to amp us for a longer war and maybe more boots on the ground. And he's also trying to make sure that the stock market doesn't crash, right?
Yes.
And so there's a lot of like pump and dump thing going on here, and we, the American people, and the Iranian people, and all of the rest of the world that are suffering from from this gas shortage and the corresponding rise in prices are the ones that are suffering.
And that's the thing that people cannot forget, is that this man is a crook. He is a predator and pedophile protector, but he is a crook. And you are so right. The pump and dump scams. I mean, everything we had heard today was that Trump was going to announce us pulling out. I mean, how many times do we say this is supposed to be the beginning of the end? This was not a speech that sounded like the beginning of the end. And, you know, I got a text from mom that says, are we any safer? The answer is absolutely not. And I feel like, Rose, we both stepped on the lead here. This man just announced in an address to the nation our intent to do war crimes. Did you remember that part when he talked about if there is no deal? That I thought we had a deal, that he said if there's no deal, he said that we're going to strike their electric generators and their oil refineries. That is a war crime.
Well, Hartzell, they've already committed war crimes.
Yeah.
This is just more war crimes on top of war crimes. That first strike on that school in Minab with it was a Tomahawk missile, right? That is a war crime. And so what else can we expect? I mean, we had low expectations to start with, and then it just gets lower and lower and lower. And I think at this point, how low can they get, right? And at what point are the American people going to say enough is enough? At what point is the Democratic Party, the supposedly opposition party, going to say enough is enough and bring him in for impeachment and for Hegseth and for Rubio, for all of them? I mean, it's like we're here, you and I, trying to do our best to get elected to Congress so that we can represent the people. And yet the people who are representing right now are not representing.
I mean, 30%, less than 30, right around 30% of the American people want us to be a part of this war. I don't do math great, but I'm getting better at it. That's what, 70% of folks who say we want nothing to do with this. And so you definitely, you gave me a great transition there, because I was going to ask you, listen, right now we're commenting and we're live streaming, but we're trying to get in there so we can fix this, or if nothing else, well, along with our folks of our district, put a check into this madness, right? And so what was really encouraging for me today, I saw that hopefully, again, for both of us, future colleague, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, which I think is a real dam breaking moment when she announced today that she doesn't want to do any kind of funding when it comes to the Iron Dome, when it comes to offensive or defensive weapons. I mean, you had Rahm Emanuel come out and say that today alongside Congressman Ro Khanna. I mean, if we got Rahm Emanuel saying that Israel can pay for their own ish, something is happening. And I feel like that is even more of a mandate for folks like you and I to, when we get in there, yes, we need to introduce articles of impeachment. Yes, we need to make sure that we have hearings, and we need to make sure we have investigations. Now, we don't need to have that now. We need to make sure we stop this war, not just prolong it so we can think about it. No, we need to end this now. But you and I are going to get in there and make sure that we choose peace over profit, over warmongering, over bombs. So, what can we do, Rose? You and me, when we get in there, what are we going to do?
Well, Hartzell, you really made a great point there about the fact that a lot of people are now turning on this war. The thing is, though, that we do have a party that is in opposition. Yes, they're in the minority, but I'm not sure if you heard that they probably had enough votes to put the War Powers Resolution on the floor before Congress recessed, and they didn't. And that is a big failure to me because, in effect, they were still giving like 14, 15, 16 days for this war to continue, for Trump and Hegseth to keep on doing what they're doing. If we were both in Congress, we would have stood up and said, no, we need to vote right here, right now. No one goes home while we have soldiers, we have troops that are in danger of losing their lives and getting sent to certain death with boots on the ground. So to me, I'm glad that AOC has finally come out and said that. I had higher expectations.
Absolutely.
Frankly, I had expected her from day one, as soon as this war started, to have condemned it and said, no, this war is illegal. It's unlawful. It's killing civilians. This is a war of choice. And Congress shouldn't have approved it. Congress shouldn't have recessed without voting on that War Powers Resolution. So, Hartzell, I'm very much on the people. My campaign has three pillars: people, peace, and planet. And the thing is, if we keep funding wars, we cannot take care of our own people because our resources are going to funding those wars. And I know you flashed on the screen the cost of war. It's now $38 billion. $38 billion. What has that given to the voters in Missouri 4, District 4?
Not a damn thing, Rose. Not a
Not,
damn thing.
likewise, nothing for California District 2 voters. $38 billion, Hartzell.
In fact, you know what we're doing here in my district? We've got Whiteman Air Force Base. You know, God bless the troops. Those are working class folks, right? We are sending our folks to what could be their deaths, and for what? For absolutely what? We got $38 billion on the screen that we're seeing right now. They want another $200 billion on top of a $1.5 trillion defense budget that was put in since Trump was elected for 2.0. This is madness. I mean, we have to say, not only will we not finance Israel's genocide, not only will we not finance their Iron Dome, offensive, defensive, we need to start talking about sanctions. We got to start talking about reparations. I mean, when we talk about, domestic tranquility and national security, peace through strength is nonsense. When I think about that, I think about how we can invest in making sure that the global South is not going to be on fire because of a climate that has been so detrimented by our country, right? I want to make sure that we can reinstate UNRWA so that our Palestinians can make sure they are fed and housed and taught. They haven't been to school in years, right? That's what I think about when I think about national security. You?
Well, Hartzell, you talked about reparations. We haven't even talked here domestically of reparations for ADOS, for Americans, descendants of slaves. The reparations that are owed to those descendants who had, that was stolen labor for centuries from enslaved African Americans. And we don't even talk about that because all the money is going to war. A core platform, a core priority for my campaign is Medicare for all, universal health care. And we always, they always say there's no money for that. And yet here we are already in a month's time, $38 billion going to war.
It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. But I know that we are going to be amongst a slate of, I truly believe, progressive champions of peace. You and I got a chance to be on a stream just a few days ago. Choose Your Fighter rally put on by our friends
Yes.
over at Progressive Victory. We had everybody. We had folks from DSA. We had folks from campaigns. We had Crystal Ball from Breaking Points and Emma Vigeland from the Majority Report. It was just so wonderful to be around, honestly, so many different spaces, right? Not just the online space, but the organizing space, the electoral space. And we need a movement. You and I, we are coming from a movement. We are organizers first, right? We are humanist first, right? We care about our people, and I am just so excited that I get a chance to be in this fight with you. I have some footage I would love to play because we both had a very busy No Kings weekend. I know you did just as much as I did, and so I wanted to show our folks some footage of one of the rallies you went to. Let's take a look at this. So, Rose, tell me about your No Kings weekend. I know you were all around the district, so break it down for us. How's everybody doing over there in California too?
Oh, it was amazing. There were, this is a huge district, Hartzell.
Massive.
Apparently, a political reporter drove from the southern tip all the way to the northeastern tip. It took him 7 hours of driving.
You said
And
7?
that's 7. That's how
7
big.
hours. Yo.
That's how big the district is. And so from my home in Redding to where I went to Humboldt County. That was 4 hours of driving, and it was amazing. There were so many people there, and I was glad I went because then I got to meet voters in District 2, because for those of the viewers who might not be familiar, California redistricted in November. They approved redistricting, and so the district that I'm in is kind of like suburban, wealthy Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area county, going all the way up through the coast, all the way to the Oregon border, and then it goes to the right all the way to the Nevada border. So it is huge. But there were so many No Kings rally protests in different counties. It was really, really inspiring.
I am trying, if you've noticed maybe that I'm not on screen right now, I'm trying to find the most updated map of your district. And I feel like you were very much like me. It kind of depends on the day what our district's going to be. So I couldn't find the most recent available data, but I know that it is near and dear to your heart. Well, tell me about your folks. When it comes to me and my new district, our new district, right? We've got a little bit of everybody. We've got, Kansas City proper urban areas, affluent as well, and as yours in some areas. We've still got UMKC, the university. That's where I went, grew up, baby. But we also have the suburban areas. We've got rural America now. It's a little bit of, beautifully everything. Working class folks is the through line of all of this.
Yeah.
But what about your folks?
Yeah, likewise, it's the same. It's the same. But the thing is, yes, there are particular issues that are, county based and geographic based, but all through it, there's a thread, right? The thread is that we lack access to quality healthcare. Healthcare is too expensive. Yeah. Much probably like in your district, people are afraid of getting cancer or getting sick because they could be bankrupt, or they don't have insurance. They had to drop insurance because they can't afford the premiums. And housing is such a challenge, even in the remote remote areas, remote counties, because wages are low. So even if rent is lower, for example, in one county, but the wages there are low too. So people are still challenged. There's a heavy debt burden in terms of rent in all of the counties. So yes, there are differences between the high rent districts, like the affluent districts and the rural districts, but the thread is still the same. It like one of the young people who attended a listening tour that I did on Sunday, the day after the protest, was really very clear on saying that they are dividing us, but they're dividing us along gender lines, along racial lines, along geographic lines, along political parties. But what we're really in is a class war. In a
Come on
class
now.
war,
Preach now. Come on, Rose. Preach. Keep it going, girl. Keep on going.
so class war is regardless of where you are in the district, regardless of whether you are in the affluent Marin County or in rural Modoc County, it is the same. We're all engaged in a class war. It's all of us versus the oligarchs. And guess who's profiting from this war? Who's profiting from the pump and dump schemes? Who's profiting from the billions that we're spending on the missiles and the bombs? It's the oligarchs. They're the ones that are profiting from this, while our troops, the working class, like you said, in the base in your district, they're working class people. We're the ones. The working class people are the ones losing our lives, are the ones paying for high gas prices, are the ones paying more for milk and for eggs when we go to the grocery store.
I just want folks to know that since Rose was speaking in that last little portion, the tab for this bill on this illegal war in Iran has gone up by $3 million in about 120 seconds. Absolutely unbelievable, my friend. So what do you have coming up before we wrap and we get out of here? Tell me about what's going on. We put your QR code up here on the screen.
You.
Let me go ahead
Yes.
and do that one more again. Boom. There is Rose for Congress. What you got going on? How can folks get with you? The floor is yours, my friend.
Oh, thank you, Hartzell. Roseforcongress.com is a website. You can sign up for, door knocking if you're in District 2. Hi to all who are here from District 2. And you can join phone banking for those who are not in the district. And any donations, $5, $10, anything is welcome, because we're in for a fight of our lives. And Hartzell, can I share what's really exciting?
Absolutely, of course.
So last Thursday, the California Secretary of State released the official list of candidates on the ballot. And for District 2, there are 2 Democrats, the incumbent, the corporate career establishment incumbent, and me, a Bernie Democrat. And on the other side, 4 Republicans are running and 2 independents or no party preference. So that means that the other votes are going to be split, and the majority of the district, 48% Democrats, are going to be split between the incumbent and myself. I mean, in theory, technically, right? Because people cross parties. But the good thing, though, Hartzell, and what I'm really excited about is I'm doing cross-party collaborations. So, out of
what a
those
concept, Rose! Look at that. We can do that. Oh my God! Wait, progressives coming together to better the whole party. Oh, I what is this? What am I? Am I awake?
So we're in a class war. We shouldn't be divided along party lines. That's what the establishment wants, Hartzell. So. I was delighted and just really honored to be endorsed by the Marin County chapter of the Green Party. And
hold on. I got to give you the due diligence that you get, my friend. Congratulations.
thank you.
Continue. Yeah, continue. Go ahead. That's awesome. Keep going.
And last Thursday, I also got the endorsement of the Humboldt County chapter of the Green Party.
All right, let me give you, we already did an applause. Let's go for a gong for this one, huh? There we go. So, I mean, that's excellent momentum on the ground, but I think even more importantly, like you said, just to be able to bring so many groups together. We are organizers. We come from a movement. We don't box folks out. We don't gatekeep. And for folks who would do that, stop it, right?
Yep.
The importance of coalition building, Rose, tell me more about that, especially as it relates to your district, California too.
So the getting those votes is really important when we don't know what the voters think, right? We hope that the voters are starting to realize, like I said, that it's a class war, and when they have to pay, they deep into their pockets to pay for gas and to pay for groceries, that hopefully more people are just going to rise up. And I'm just sometimes just really puzzled that not a lot of Americans are still going to the streets. We had a really big No Kings protest, right? But don't you think that we could have even doubled that or tripled that? So that is what I'm looking forward to, where that we could have like really mass movements or like a general labor strike.
Yes.
So I was in a meeting with so I'm also a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. I'm a DSA member.
Same. Hello, my comrade, my sister. Yes. Shout out KCDSA.
We're just so aligned and
kindred
really
comrades.
tied. Yes. And one of our comrades there was talking about a general strike, and at the same time acknowledging that the United States doesn't seem ready for it. Like we still don't have that level of solidarity. And I think that Hartzell, you and I were at the vanguard of this together with our other colleagues at the Progressive Victory stream last Saturday. And that this is exciting because there's this group of leaders that are collectively working together to raise the consciousness that we're in a class struggle and that we need to fight and we need to be in solidarity with each other.
I mean, I can't agree more. I mean, this is how we win. We organize, we fight, we win. I was hoping I'd have time while you were answering to throw up the poster of the event that we were talking about here, the Choose Your Fighter rally. In fact, Rose, just give me 30 seconds here.
You're so good. You're amazing that you do all those things.
Oh, stop it some more. Stop it some more. No, here we go. I've got and again, like you said, it is just so important that we work together. We have a slate of folks, and it's not just coming together to preach to the choir and love on each other. I mean, here's what we did this weekend. Not only did we do all those things, we had an incredible program. We preached a little bit. It was beautiful, but we also raised a bunch of money. Let me put this here on the screen. Let's speak. There you go. Raise money. There's Rose's QR code. So this was done just this past Saturday. Like I said earlier, we had online leftist creators. We had electoral leftist candidates. I mean, honestly, it's something that I'm in this space a little bit. It's getting in, now I'm juggling all kinds of spaces, but I don't know if this is done before as far as like having content creators intentionally come together for an electoral kind of thing. We raised over $36,000. That view count, I got to talk to our boy Ben. That view count is tragically low. And now we're over like, especially now, a few days after, we're like close to 500,000 views.
Wow.
So it was just a wonderful, wonderful thing. And Rose, I am so happy to be in this struggle and in this fight with you. One more time, I'm going to put your QR code back on the screen and make the pitch. Where can folks go, and what else can they do to support? Let me put this on. There we go. Rose, my friend, preach away. Floor, stage, you get it one more time. Encore performance. What you got?
Thank you so much, Hartzell. So everyone, please check us out, roseforcongress.com. If you're in District 2, we would love to have you volunteer and be part of our door knocking team. And if you're not, you can join us with phone banking. So check it out. And donations, as I said, are very welcome. And if you have like a particular skill or a particular issue or a particular policy that you have experience in or want to share, you can email us, and we can bring your story out and help in whatever way we can. And Hartzell, this is the beauty of collaborating, is because together we're more than one. The sum is greater of the parts. So thank you.
We are everything. We are everything, Rose. There's always more of us. And to shamelessly plug my campaign, we got us. We got us. Rose, I so appreciate you. What we're going to do, because I'm having too much fun, and I would like to maybe do a few more clips and keep hanging out with the homies here. And I am going to, if I can get that pulled up, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. Oh no, where's my stuff at? Let's just do this. All right, we'll be right back.
Thanks, Hartzell.
I think one of the individuals that in some ways encapsulates as much of the full range of political organizing in Harlem over many decades of the 20th century would be A. Philip Randolph. Here's a man who comes into the fullness of his calling first as a socialist. He is the co-editor of a magazine called The Messenger, advocating for taking down capitalism as really the only true road to racial equality, which eventually leads him to union organizing. And so he founds the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters and Maids. The and maids gets dropped off over time, but initially it really was a mass labor movement organized around increasing wages and benefits for black porters and maids on Pullman cars, which traveled all around the country. A. Philip Randolph also is the broker of the March on Washington movement, which is a threat posed to Franklin Delano Roosevelt to integrate the defense industries that were taking advantage of black migrants coming out of the South in response to the opportunities of World War II. And so with the threat of 100,000 black people marching on Washington in 1941, Franklin Delano Roosevelt preemptively signs Executive Order 8802, the Fair Employment Practices Commission. Randolph eventually supports Martin Luther King, the young Baptist preacher in the mid-1950s, and ultimately leads to being the lead planner of the March on Washington in 1963. A. Philip Randolph even lived long enough to witness the influence of Malcolm X on this community. So if you just take A. Philip Randolph, that one life rooted here in this community, in all the different philosophies and ideological approaches that he took in trying to move the needle on civil rights in this country, you get a wonderful sense of the richness of ideas that were in circulation.
Yes, in fact, you do. The great labor leader, A. Philip Randolph, one of my favorite people in the entire world, A. Philip Randolph. He is one of the folks who put together the freedom budget, of which we are campaigning on. It was A. Philip Randolph. It was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Bayard Rustin. They believe that, you deserve healthcare, housing, higher minimum wage. So that is what we are championing alongside the great Senator Nina Turner. So before we leave, I guess we're gonna do a couple things. Number one, just final thoughts on this speech from the president. I very much am leaving this incredibly concerned. I didn't hear someone who was trying to find an off-ramp. I heard someone who was trying to manipulate the market ahead of a ground invasion, especially knowing that the market will be closed on Friday for Good Friday. I think that these next 36 to 72 hours is going to be incredibly important. I think incredibly devastating. I hope that's not the case, but I am terrified. And we need to defund the war machine. It's one thing just to talk about how outrageous and maniacal this man is in the White House. We need to make sure that we are preaching anti-war. Even as Rose and I were talking about the No Kings rally, and I really do believe there's a net positive for having all of our folks be out here to be activated. Hopefully they find an organizing home as they are there. But we do need to start making demands. It's not just no kings, right? We don't have a crown or a throne, but we do have an oligarchy. We have a Supreme Court that believes in a unitary executive theory, which essentially makes the president a king, right? And Rose again was correct when she said that we need to mobilize at a mass scale. We're talking general strikes. I am so just honored to be in community and solidarity with the group here in Kansas City, or in Missouri, the Missouri Workers Center, who are currently working to do a strike on May Day. Nobody's shopping. We're going to be amongst our folks in solidarity. And one of the reasons why, I believe actually the biggest impetus why, is the thing that I wanted us to talk about before we get out of here in Missouri, which is the breeding ground for Trump sycophants and stooges. We have in our state house in Jeff City, our governor, Mike Kehoe, trying to, once again, give another bailout to the rich. They want to do away with the income tax, right? It's one of those things that sounds great on paper. I don't want to pay taxes. Nobody wants to pay taxes, right? But what this is another bailout for billionaires and at the expense of the working people. And it is currently, I believe, in committee in the Senate. There's going through that process of having folks coming in and testifying in committees and stuff. But this is House Minority Leader Ashley Ani. And really what this means to working class Missourians. Another portion of this battle, this war on the working class.
But if high prices are something you enjoy, then you'll love Governor Kehoe's plan to eliminate state income taxes.
Oh, let's make sure we get that up. There we go.
Since taxes on individual, corporate, and pass-through income account for more than 70% of Missouri's general revenue collections, the only plausible way to replace that much revenue is with a massive expansion of sales taxes. A massive expansion. Not only would the state's overall sales tax rate need to be jacked up from the current 4.225%, the sales tax base would need to be broadened to apply not just to goods, but also be charged on all manner of services not currently taxed. So under the governor's plan, the next time you have an expensive car repair or costly emergency visit from the plumber to fix a broken pipe, you'll also be paying double-digit sales taxes on that bill. Struggling to pay your rent? The struggle will get even harder when Republicans add a sales tax onto that.
And let's, hear and see how this is affecting, again, rank and file, working class folks. What they say is that this has to be revenue neutral. So we're getting rid of income tax, billions of dollars that's going to be taken away from schools, from everyday, just our kids. Like, they're taking away money for our kids so that a bunch of rich folks can get a tax break. It's actually like disgusting. So we're going to do billions of dollars that we're not going to have for our kids, for our infrastructure, but it's supposed to be revenue neutral, right? So if we just lost billions of dollars, how are we going to make it revenue neutral without raising taxes on working folks across the board for everything?
Wise with Missouri Workers Center is like many who oppose the bill, saying eliminating income tax will take away funding for public services like schools, senior care, and infrastructure.
Imagine a tax on our rent, haircut, higher taxes on groceries. That's what's going to be the makeup of the elimination of this tax. The wealthy won't be footing the bill, we will.
If the bill passes through the Senate, it will be presented to voters who would decide if the General Assembly has their permission to lower Missouri's income tax while increasing sales and use taxes in equal proportion.
Wise is spearheading the town hall at this Presbyterian church on Campbell Street in Kansas City on Wednesday at 6:30. He's inviting all to come so they know it's at stake.
Again, love and solidarity to all of our folks who are under the thumb of empire, under the thumb of oligarchy, under the thumb of these corporations, big businesses, vulture capital. We're going to win. We stand up, we fight back, but that doesn't mean that some of these body blows don't hit. They do. And it sucks. But we're going to, bandage ourselves up. We're going to chew on some nails, eat on some cardboard, and we're going to get back in there. I know it. I believe it. I absolutely believe it. I believe in us. We got us. Stop it. Who said that? Stop it. Speaking of we got us, before I hit end on the stream, can I product place? Can I shamelessly self-promote? Because what I have here, dear sweet friends and family, is the official Hartzell for Congress.com. Oh, no. There we go. Get back in focus. Okay, you get the idea. It's a good shirt. It's a good material. Real nice. And also, we have our, wrong side. This side. Our Hartzell for Congress zip. Okay, if I go too close, it goes out of focus. But how's that? You see that? Hartzell for Congress zip up hoodie. Dope as hell. Let's see. So dope, it took my breath away. Oh my God. So if you go to Hartzell for, yes, you do. Yes, you do. I mean, one more time. Now that I got the focus thing down. One more time. Look at this, y'all. Look at what we did, huh? Look at what you did. All of your donations, your love, your support, you were able to make sure that we look fly as we fight fascism. In fact, hold on. Let's just pull up the website. HartzellForCongress.com. I'm going to put that also on the stage. Here we go. Because we have all kinds of things that you might be interested in. Let's go ahead and share this bad boy. Alrighty here. The web store. We will add you to the stage. Alrighty. Look at this, huh? Look at that. That's not shabby. You got your long sleeve, zip up, the crew neck. If I'm being honest with you, I think the crew neck, you're not supposed to, not supposed to show favoritism. It's like, which kid is your favorite? But I do like that crew neck a whole lot. I like that crew neck a bunch, actually. And the prices aren't bad. Just know also, your donation is going to get you merch, which is dope. But also, it is a donation to the campaign. So definitely take a look. Look at the hat. Oh, do I have the hat? I had one of the hats here. Oh, no. I lost a hat. There was a hat on my desk. I lost. Oh, no, it is. Found it. Hold up. Uh-oh, I'm about to knock something over. Hold up. Look here. Not just via the interwebs. Live. There is your Hartzell for Congress hat. It is so, I love it. I mean, I look silly because, okay, you get the idea. I look silly if I do it, but union made, union strong. I love it. Our stuff turned out so great. So one more time, let's put that up there. Let me do one last scroll. Yard signs look great. My mom's got some of those. The stickers are great. Where are the stickers at? There we go. We got stickers up top. The buttons. Oh, I got buttons too. Oh, I didn't bring any buttons in the studio. Anyway, short sleeve. The material is, I'm not I'm not blowing smoke. I know it sounds like I'm very much product placing and shamelessly self-promoting, which I absolutely am. Let's not get that twisted. But I will say that even impartially, our stuff looks really, really great. And I really, really appreciate you all for the donations and the purchases you've already made. I've seen some of our merch in the wild. I have. That's super exciting. Let's wrap it up with this. Oh, no, one last thing before. I wanted to make sure we throw this on the stage. I am proud to be endorsed by Kansas City DSA, one of the fastest growing DSA chapters in the country. And I wanted to make sure you all were aware of this. Yesterday was Trans Day of Visibility. Shout out, love, solidarity to all of our trans folks. When I talk about universal healthcare, by the way, I will be fighting to make sure that gender affirming care is a part of that universal healthcare. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a fight, but I commit to you right now. That's what we're going to do. KCDSA, there's a KC Trans ID Access Fund. So in the state of Kansas, they have just heinous bigots, transphobes. They are now making so that your ID has to match that of, the gender you were assigned at birth. It is not only nonsense, but you know what? It is a burden financially for our folks. So if you need any sort of assistance, the Kansas Trans ID Access Fund, hit up our friends over at KCDSA. Now we'll wrap. Shout out to our Missouri Democrats. First time in a century, right? 96.8% of all the Missouri House seats up for grabs, Senate too, I think, 96.8 filled. It's incredible. So many seats that we just left uncontested, and now we have a supermajority in the assembly of a bunch of reactionaries, right? And folks who want to kick you off your health care and take your abortion access away and take away your sick time, take away, you get what I'm saying. So when we do things like this, when we fight back electorally like this, it's little things. It's not just at the ballot box. Obviously, it's 10 toes down in the trenches as well, but this is good. This is great. And part of the filing process coming to an end is that, my friends, we officially doing this. It's us. It is us now. Here is your updated map. There is District 4. It is a racist map, and it's an assault, but it's also an opportunity, right? And so here are, in fact, your challengers. There we are. There is me. There is us. We got us. I'm going to need you. I absolutely am going to need you, friends. This moment is ours. We have a uniquely unliked genocide supporter, insurance backed, APAC backed, voted to give the biggest tax cut to billionaires in that big, beautiful bill, big, beautiful betrayal, gutted rural hospitals, gutted SNAP. I'm running on universal SNAP, and he's trying to cut it even more. So a bunch of rich folks can be even richer. That is who we are going up against, and that is why I need your help. We got a long road, but here's the thing about long roads, it's still a path. We got a path. We got more than a path. We got each other. We don't need profits. We got people, right? We don't need PACs. We got people. And in this moment, maybe even more so than in 2028, we can flip this seat. We can send Mark Alford back to TV or whatever the hell he wants to do, just as long as it's us in that seat for the Missouri 4th. So whatever you can do to help us get there. I mean, you saw this list of folks. It's a lot of good people on there, right? A lot of good folks with a lot of good ideas. But I think that we have the policy. I think we've got the people, the movement that is made for this moment. I don't come from a movement. I come with a movement. And I can't speak for anybody else but myself. We are a movement. We are a movement. I know we got us. So I appreciate you all so much. Let me do this. One last shameless self-promotion. There is the QR code. $5, $10, $15, $20. Honestly, whatever. Whatever you can. This is a grassroots campaign. I should have had the numbers. I mean, we've got thousands now of donations. And it is small dollar. It is the best kind of dollar. It's the one that you are investing in, not because of me, not because of the merch, although the merch looks good. You want to be a part of something that is for us, by us. That's right. Shout out FUBU. So hartzellforcongress.com, that is the website. If you want to check out the policies, you want to check out the merch, you want to check out anything, you want to sign up to volunteer. We just launched our Discord server. I'll be in there. I'm not kidding. I'll be in there just working on one of the channels. And if you want to come and just kick it, do it. Seriously, this is an open and honest, transparent campaign because it's our campaign. So once I get that link posted, because of course I don't have it on me now when I should probably have it, we'll get it posted on socials. Join us. Again, volunteer, time, treasure, talent. If I can get that, if I can get even just one of those, y'all, I'm good. I am good to go. Speaking of being good to go, let's get out of here. What are we at? Hour 15? See, that's digestible. That to me, that feels kind of right, you know? Right? Not too long, not too short. Get in, get out. Hartzellforcongress.com. That's us. I love you. I love you. I like you. I believe that we will win. See you next time. We got us.